Um, Advancements aren't just science. Science is more what happens, how things work. Science can basically be said to be how everything works. Now, advancements are built off of science, culture, history, war, religion, trial and error, flukes. Advancements are basically your technology and your continuation of culture. Now, when we go back to culture, we had a list. Remember this lovely list of things that are part of culture. The first one was art. Art is basically, if you can draw it, sing it, dance it, create it, it's art. Now, there is a fine line between art and craft, but I'm not going to get into it here. Art is things that are made, or things that are created, or things that use imagination for purposes of world building. And often it consumes resources. Next on the sandy list is religion. Religion is any belief system for purposes of world building. Now, a lot of you are going to go, well, atheism isn't a religion, but it's part of a system of beliefs, a system of commonly held truths, even, for those who don't like the word belief. It's counted as a religion for purposes of world building because it is fulfilling that same cultural niche. Next, you have politics, and politics are the interactions of people. You put two people together and there will be political action. There's no way to prevent that. People are inherently selfish, and this is not a bad thing. It means that they survive. Now, your politics may look different for different races you create. An alien from a star system far from here might have completely different political outlook. They may be incredibly peaceful, or they may be incredibly warlike. But one thing that seems to stay true for most science fiction and fantasy politics is that they are based on certain political paradigms we've already seen in the world, even if it's only a loose basis. It's very hard to write something that you don't already know. And if you heard that, that was Salix saying, hello, he's my kitty cat. Next on the list is war. Politics and religion are the lead causes of war in most worlds. The other cause is resources, which art consumes. So art, religion, politics, they cause war. Wars can also be over something like love, if you have a very romantic society, or to even branch out to the more extreme of religion because your God actually came down and told you to do it or started a war themselves. Now, all of this leads to advancement. It may seem weird, but war leads to advancement. There's a lot of technological advancement in war that would not come as fast in peacetime. But one of the advancements that most cultures do make without war is agriculture. And agriculture is sort of one of those scientific advancements that is arguably the second or third oldest science in the world after astronomy. And it's the cultivation and harvest of plants. Some could say animals as well, but that's more stock breeding. For purposes of world building, we're going to lump them together and say agriculture. It's very important because most worlds who don't progress beyond hunter-gatherer are going to evolve incredibly differently from those that do. So you want to keep in mind, just how your world is going to develop. Are they going to be a hunter-gatherer society, a purely hunter society? Are they going to be an agronomist society? You really need to take that into account in your culture. And all of this is leading up to science and tech. As I said, agriculture is an early form of science. Even more apt, it's an early form of technology, which is applied science for human or other sentient beings' consumption. And you will have a lot of science. In some worlds, you need to remember that not all science is science as we see it. Most places are going to have the same physical laws. You're going to have gravity, even if it's a little bit different. You're going to have the same kinds of gases present in the universe, even if the planet is composed differently. But then you get into the hazy area of fantasy worlds and magic. Magic in some sources is going to pretty much follow scientific rules. If you read the Young Wizards series by Diane Duane, she does a very good job of explaining the magic there scientifically, or at least pseudoscientifically. However, if you get into a purely fantasy world, magic becomes one of the sciences, instead of science becoming magic. Magic becomes this scientific thing with its own laws and its own progression. And you have to play within those rules. And new discoveries are looked on harshly by wizards guilds, things like that. And it's just, it becomes some sort of scientific community. It doesn't have the organized skepticism that you see in our scientific community necessarily, but then again, if you have a wizards guild, it might. So keep that in mind. If you're going to make a magic-based society, research science. And that's about all for our first intro. In the next video, I'm going to show you guys pretty much how to start making a world. So sit back, relax, and I'll be back with you shortly.